Thank you so much, Yanyin and Kennedy, for that fascinating presentation. I think one of the things that we really saw echoed in that lightning talk from this morning's panel is the importance of coordinating across teams and across organizations to think through and understand requirements. Something that the Digital Benefits Network has been very excited to see emerge as a conversation in this space is a real consideration of digital identity processes as part of an overall service design and user journey. And so we've been so excited to see how this FFS project is really breaking down some of the steps in a user journey when applying for benefits and thinking through when and how authentication and account creation might fit into that to best promote access while understanding and meeting requirements. I'd like to now invite my colleague Quinny Sanchez Lopez to join me on stage so we can share a little bit more about the Digital Benefits Network's own work on digital identity. Quinny. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for being here. So as we mentioned in the opening of today's session, the DBN has been conducting research on digital identity in public benefits since mid-2022. And as we close out this session of talks focused on digital identity and cybersecurity, we'd like to offer some updates on where our work is headed next on this topic. Specifically, we'd like to share a bit more about our ongoing areas of research, our partnerships on this topic, and the ways we're working to build community around digital identity, specifically in a public benefits context. So one way that the DBN seeks to build knowledge in the ecosystem is by publishing primers and introductory materials on technical topics. So we recently released updated introductory materials on digital identity, which include a kind of foundational primer on like what is digital identity as a concept to offer an orientation to how this is showing up in the United States and abroad, and also an explainer outlining how digital identity shows up in public benefits. Alongside these two resources, we've also published an updated glossary of key terms related to digital identity. And there is a short link on this slide that will take you to one of those examples in case you're curious. And then one of our major research outputs last year was landscape research, looking at the state of account creation, authentication, and identity proofing requirements across online public benefits applications for SNAP, TANF, Medicaid, child care, WIC, and unemployment insurance. This research project helped us build a broader understanding of the status quo in terms of our digital identity practices in online public benefits applications. And we hoped to help the ecosystem of federal agencies, states, advocates, academics, and civic tech organizations identify state applications that are taking unique, unusual, or potentially promising approaches to digital identity, as well as identify state applications where there are opportunities for improvement. On this slide, there's also a QR code to access that full data set and accompanying analysis on the Digital Benefits Hub. And on that page, you can learn more about the prevalence of account creation and identity proofing requirements in online benefits applications and the ways that states are incorporating these steps into the service design of their applications. We're very excited to share that we're currently working on an update to that data set to help stakeholders understand what's changed in the past 18 months, where there are new approaches being used, and where there remain opportunities for improvement. We'll be publishing this updated data later this fall, and excited to share more about that when it's live. As we've continued our work on this topic, we've also come to really believe that to have the best shot at supporting state agencies with tools that help them understand and evaluate whether and to what level to use authentication in benefits delivery, we should work in partnership with other organizations and leverage existing resources and guidelines as much as possible. For that reason, we're very excited to be partnering with the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, and the Center for Democracy and Technology, CDT, on a new project, Digital Identity in Public Benefits. Because we are concerned about ensuring access to public benefits programs, we see a real opportunity to consider these programs and their specific access and security considerations alongside NIST's digital identity guidelines to ultimately create new voluntary resources that are tailored to public benefits programs and directed towards state benefits administering agencies to help them make human-centered, risk-based decisions about identity management in their programs. And incorporate the perspectives and experiences of both practitioners and beneficiaries. As I think we've heard this morning, there is no perfect or single approach to digital identity or cybersecurity. We believe this is fundamentally about managing trade-offs and making choices to meet the needs of user populations, which is what this set of resources ultimately aims to help state agencies do. We kicked off stakeholder engagement on this project with a virtual workshop in early August to inform what this project will ultimately build and what benefits programs will focus on. We're going to have a lot more virtual engagement over the coming months, so if this is something you're interested in, we encourage you to sign up for updates. There's a short link and QR code on this slide. And for those of you who are in person today, right after this session, we'll actually be hosting a workshop with our colleagues from NIST and CDT to further inform the deliverables, research approach, and some of the outcomes of this project. But before we go any further, I'd like to pass things off to my colleague Quinny, the DBN's Digital Identity Community of Practice Advisor.
Thanks, Liz. Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Quinny. I joined the DBN in June as the advisor for the Digital Identity Community of Practice. And while the DBN is incredibly proud of the research that we've been able to do on this topic, we recognize that we're not the only leaders working on this in public benefits delivery. Over the past several weeks, I've been holding key stakeholder interviews with several leaders in this space and have learned that while several of you are generating best practices, launching pilots, and analyzing policy, there's a really strong desire for opportunities to learn, collaborate, and strategize around digital identity. In my role, I'll be bringing together stakeholders from across the public benefits ecosystem to enhance the delivery of benefits to all eligible individuals. This will include a diverse range of stakeholders across benefits programs and sectors, and will include the guidance of people with lived expertise, because at the DBN, we believe that those most impacted by public benefits technology should also have a seat at the table to share their insights and their leadership. Our community of practice will bring together federal, state, local, tribal, and territorial governments, nonprofits, academic institutions, direct service providers, advocates, and beneficiaries, where our goal will be to inform appropriate, responsible, equitable, and effective approaches to digital identity and public benefits delivery. This open-ended space will facilitate engagement on identity management topics, address pressing concerns across a wide range of benefits programs, and offer opportunities for learning and dialogue on key technology and access topics. The first phase of this community of practice is to gather your input on what we need from this community. Whether you've heard about the DBN's plans for this community of practice before, or if it's your first time learning about it, we invite you to complete our community survey if you are passionate about addressing digital identity, eliminating barriers to benefits access for those who need it most, and want to help inform the priorities and structure of this community of practice. Oh yeah, thank you, Liz. Did it work? Okay, sweet. Our survey goes live today, and it's going to be open until October 16th. I encourage you to scan it if you would like to take some time today to start working on that survey. And we're also going to plan to share it with you over email and on social media. That way you can pass it on to friends and colleagues, because we want to encourage as many perspectives as possible. Please be on the lookout for additional digital identity community of practice announcements and activities this fall, and I'm super excited to get to build community around addressing benefits access with you.
Awesome, thanks. Thanks so much, Quinny.